From the Home Slice News Center, this is the Daily Slice for Monday, November 6, 2023. I'm D. Ray Knight. This is what's going on. Governor Noem has requested guidance from the state Supreme Court about conflict of interest rules for lawmakers. Several weeks ago, South Dakota state lawmaker Jessica Castleberry resigned and agreed to repay the $500,000 in federal COVID-19 relief she received for her daycare business. Castleberry violated a state Supreme Court opinion from 2020 that said lawmakers cannot receive such payments and they cannot enter state contracts directly or indirectly. Noem, Attorney General Marty Jackley, and two Republican lawmakers have sent letters to the court seeking clarity on what else is illegal. A judicial board is considering expanding programs for juvenile offenders. Amy Rose has more.
A judicial task force is recommending the state expand programs and practices aimed at helping juvenile offenders to include young adults. The Barriers for Emerging Adult Task Force released its final report at its meeting Thursday. The goal of the task force is to identify issues facing emerging adults in the justice system, adults between the ages of 18 and 25 who may have a greater potential for rehabilitation but face barriers. The report included 5 recommendations for lawmakers, including allowing more flexibility when it comes to developing new diversion programs.
In national and international news, Israeli troops have divided the northern and southern parts of Gaza as communications across the besieged territory were temporarily cut Monday for a third time since the war started. Israeli media reported troops are expected to enter Gaza City on Monday or Tuesday. The Hamas-run health ministry in Gaza says the Palestinian death toll has now exceeded 10,000. Those developments came after Israeli airstrikes hit 2 refugee camps in central Gaza Strip on Sunday. Israel has so far rejected U.S. suggestions that it take a humanitarian pause from its relentless bombardment of Gaza and the rising civilian deaths. More than 1,400 people in Israel have been killed. Meanwhile, the Secretary of State is wrapping up his tour of the area. Amy Rose has the details.
U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken has wrapped up a grueling Middle East tour in Turkey after only limited success in efforts to forge a regional consensus on how best to ease Gaza's civilian suffering as Israel intensifies its war against Hamas. Blinken met on Monday in the Turkish capital of Ankara with Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan after a frantic weekend of travel that took him from Israel to Jordan, the occupied West Bank, Cyprus, and Iraq to build support for the Biden administration's proposal for humanitarian pauses to Israel's relentless military campaign in Gaza. Blinken hopes that pauses in the war would allow for the release of hostages captured by Hamas and prevent the conflict from spreading regionally.
It's sure to be a spectacle when Donald Trump testifies in his New York City civil fraud trial today. The former president and the leading Republican presidential candidate will be defending himself against allegations he dramatically inflated his net worth. The charges cut to the heart of the brand Trump has spent decades carefully crafting and put him at risk of losing control of much of his business empire. But Trump's appearance will also mark the beginning of what will likely be a defining feature of the 2024 election, a major candidate on trial using the witness stand as a campaign platform. Trump denies any wrongdoing. Your weather forecast from the Home Slice Weather Center. Mix of sun and clouds with a high of 64. Low tonight, 42. And that was your Daily Slice for Monday, November 6, 2023. The Daily Slice is a production of Home Slice Media Group, hosted by D. Ray Knight with Amy Rose. Executive producer Mark Houston. Engineered by Chris Jaquess. I'm D. Ray Knight. Have a great weekend.